Today I'm going to go over the simulation theory and the Mandela effect. But before I get into that, I would like to give a shout out to the channel All Time. All Time is by far the best Mandela effect channel that I've ever come across. For years he's been uploading new Mandela effects as well as doing a lot of research. And what he finds sometimes can be pretty mind-blowing. So make sure to check out his channel, the link will be in the description below. The Mandela effect is one of those rare paranormal mysteries that affect a lot of people. And when it happens to you, it can be scary as it makes you question reality. One thing I have noticed when researching the Mandela effect, especially on forums like Reddit, is that it seems that there are a lot of people who don't believe it. And I'm guessing these people must have never been affected by a Mandela effect, as when it happens to you, you become a believer and you really start to wonder what the heck is going on. One of the first Mandela effects that really blew my mind is the Mona Lisa. I strongly remember that the Mona Lisa was not smiling. I remember when I first heard that she was now smiling, I thought to myself, this can't be true, this guy is just messing with us. Because I remember hearing many times growing up that the reason the Mona Lisa was so popular because she hinted at a smile, like she was hiding a secret. But that's no longer true because today she has a full-blown smile. And this does really freak me out, and I'm not the only one. There are a ton of people who remember the Mona Lisa not smiling. Just the other day, and the reason for making this video, I was watching the Y-Files. And in that video he was talking about the alien and the ancient base or the craft on the moon. And the creators of this hoax called the alien they made the Mona Lisa because it looked like she had a slight smile.
They removed the stalks from her face and Rutledge thought she had a slight smile. From then on they called her Mona Lisa. They removed the stalks from her face and Rutledge thought she had a slight smile. From then on, they called her Mona Lisa.
The other Mandela effect, and probably one of the most significant Mandela effects in my opinion, is from the Jungle Book. This one is insane because this bear during that dance scene was not wearing whatever the heck this is. He was wearing a bra. I can still see the scene in my head. And the channel All Time uncovered that the creator even said in his own words that they did in fact put a bra on him. And this is what we all, or at least most of us, remember seeing. But somehow that is no longer true.
To this day, that's still a pretty big Mandela effect. But now we have definitive proof that Baloo did indeed have a coconut bra, and that something happened at some point to change that. Floyd Norman is an 86-year-old American animator, writer, and comic book artist. He's worked for companies such as Walt Disney Animation Studios, Hanna-Barbera, and even Pixar. This extremely talented man did it all, working on everything from Sleeping Beauty and The Sword in the Stone, to Robin Hood, The Smurfs, Mulan, and even Courage the Cowardly Dog. He even worked on computer-generated movies like Toy Story 2 and Monsters, Inc. All this to say, of course he worked on the 1967 movie, The Jungle Book. I bring up Floyd Norman because years ago he ran a Squarespace website that you can still look up and read to this day thanks to the Internet Wayback Machine, where he talks about his thoughts and feelings on animation, the industry, his dreams, his goals, and lots of insider stories that you'll never hear anywhere else. In a post he wrote called Things You Don't Know About the Jungle Book, Floyd delves into all kinds of fun details that most people have never heard of. Floyd's website has a ton of great details like that, but the one that really caught my attention was regarding Baloo and his now missing coconut bra. Here is his entire quote. Veteran writer Larry Clemens thought having animated characters in drag was a surefire gag. Every time the story team would come up with a wacky idea, Larry would always chime in and say, "What if we put him in drag? That would be hilarious." Eventually, Larry managed to get his way. When Baloo the bear has his wacky "I Want to Be Like You" duet with King Louie the orangutan, we put Baloo in a coconut bra and grass skirt. I think we finally managed to please Larry, and perhaps he was right after all. The zany duet between Louie, Prima, and Phil Harris was a genuine showstopper. There you have it, an artist that literally worked on the Jungle Book, as in drawing that animated classic with his own two hands, has confirmed that Baloo the bear was indeed wearing a coconut bra, like so many of us remember. I mean, this is straight from the horse's mouth. You don't get any more accurate than a first-hand account. This is like if I was commenting on the production of an all-time scary video. I'm the person that would know best. This leaves all of us with a couple questions. Where is the coconut bra? What happened to it? If tons of people that watched that movie remember it, and one of the artists that worked on it remembers it as well, then where did it go? Perhaps it was Disney censorship and all the original copies were scrubbed from existence. But you'd think that at least one would survive if that was the case, or at least a clip of it. This kind of gag at the time wasn't controversial, and if it was scrubbed from existence at some point after, you'd assume that someone out there would have knowledge of that, right? Not to mention Disney as a company has never admitted to changing anything regarding this movie, and it's still viewable on even Disney+.
Now there you have it. Many people remember seeing the bear Baloo wearing a coconut bra. And the writer even said in his own words that we put Baloo in a coconut bra, and that it was a showstopper. Now Disney can edit that part for Disney+, as well for other future screenings, but they can't change a VHS or a DVD, and there is no coconut bra in there either, which in honesty, I think it's hard for us to process. There are many other Mandela effects, which I'm sure most of you know, like the movie Shazam or the Monopoly guy, and I'm curious to know, which one has affected you the most? For me, it's the Mona Lisa and the Jungle Book. But there are others, like Crocodile Dundee. In a scene, someone was trying to rob Crocodile Dundee, which is not a good idea, and the villain pulled out a knife. It was a very tiny knife, not something Crocodile Dundee would be afraid of. This guy fights crocodiles. And in that scene, Crocodile Dundee says, "That is not a knife." Then he pulls out this huge knife and says, "That is a knife." But for me and thousands of others, we remember him saying it differently. I remember him saying, "That is not a knife, this is a knife," which makes a heck of a lot more sense, and this was a very popular line at the time. But could this one be just bad memories? And could others be just bad memories? I think that's definitely possible. But like I said before, I am certain the Mona Lisa and the Jungle Book has changed. So how is that possible? Sometimes Mandela effects can change back. It is rare, but it does happen. I remember when I first started learning all about the Mandela effect, and one of the popular ones at the time was from the movie Apollo 13. That famous line, "Houston, we have a problem," changed to "Houston, we had a problem." Just a small little change, but enough to make people believe that something strange was going on. But we still thought at the time that it could be just bad memories. But when it changed back to "Houston, we have a problem" like we remembered, people really started to freak out. And there have been others like the logo on Fruit Loops. That one keeps changing back and forth. Now there are new Mandela effects being found all the time. While I was researching this video, I saw a lot of people freaking out about this clip right here. Let me know if you notice anything different.
There's been a lot of changes this offseason for your team. How do you feel your chances are in the AL East?
I love our chances. It's been Guys, keep it on the field. Guys, keep it on the field.
In the comments section in this video, people are freaking out. They remember seeing a white woman that almost got hit by the space ball. And as you can see, these comments are brand new, and there are hundreds of them. One comment stated that someone has to be messing with us. This can't be just a Mandela effect. But this is exactly what the Mandela effect is. It's our reality changing right in front of our eyes. And when this truly happens to you, it is hard to process. Many are saying this has to be edited, but as you can see right here, this video was uploaded 11 years ago. Now since this is a new Mandela effect, we have to give it some time. But after searching dozens of different uploads on YouTube that were uploaded over a decade ago, there is no white reporter anywhere to be seen. One thing I find fascinating about the Mandela effect is that it's such small changes, like clothes in an old movie or old famous movie lines. Nothing big like saying The Rock, the movie star, no longer existed. Could you imagine one cold November day while browsing Twitter, the words, "Where is The Rock" was trending, and you found out that he never existed and his movies were never made? Now that would be terrifying. One theory I have, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, is that maybe the elites in the distant future are doing very little but noticeable changes just to see what the after effects would be before they really start changing the past. Or imagine a room in a house that is always locked, and a kid, a very intelligent kid, breaks into this room at night, turns on the computer, and just to mess with us, he changes the code just a little bit, just to let us know in his own evil way that we are not real, and that we live in a simulation. Until next time, this is Paranormal Junkie. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned.